Alright, the rose. Rabbi Shah opened. It said that the rose among thorns. He asked, what does the rose represent?" He answers that it's some of the Israel, meaning Malshah. Alright. Um, for the rose, for there is a rose for the rose, and there is a rose, just as a rose among the thorns, tangled with the red and white. So does the assembly of the Israel Malshah. Consider for the judgment and mercy is just for the rose and 13 pebble of the assembly of Israel. Consider for the 13 property of mercy and also after the Alkalim, name of the Creator. Name of the Creator that alludes to its attitudes toward the lower and the one with the force of judgment. As I said, beginning with the Alkalim, created with this first sentence of the Torah, the beginning of the initially with the creative throughout the created 13 words that surrounded the assembly of the Israel to protect it, and they are the heaven and the earth and the end of the earth. The heaven and the earth was empty, and the chaotic darkness over the face of the abyss of the in spirit. Upon the world of the Hebrew Aklam in Hebrew is written in the conjunction of the world following, hence considered as one world. As the object of the study, the Kabbalah takes one with the creation only the thing that exists beside the creator of the man himself, and I say research that the sign breaks down into into parts, explain with the sculpture of the property of each of the part of the purpose of the creation. Kabbalah explains how every part of the man self is called the soul. He changed one would reach for the goal of recreation stage. He changed so that one could reach for the goal of creation state desired by both the creator and the man himself, provided that he realized that there is not a sign for the world described either graphically or analytically through use of formulas or sensation desired. The how is birth and multifaceted. They are how equal and unpredictable, absolutely distinct. They are everyone that has become with the desire, surface of mind, sensation, gradual order, in certain sequences, so as we acknowledge to correct them. Ourselves are in our sense of the only thing of the Kedra is the individual, however, everything changed, but remains merely an external animate shell. There's why we said that every moment the man has been born anew, yet if so, they should regard one another, how they should perceive ourselves, how they will be possibly stabilize anything that within and outside of us, constantly changing, although perceiving the function of the inner state, the creation of the source of the light of pressure. Those who near him in the sense of that him is such as the person draw near with the creator, then sense for the him and called the Kabbalah is the word lay cable means to receive the creator's light. One draw near the creator for the equivalence of the desire of the creator incorporeal, and can also be used as the nature of with our heart. Natural with the means of the heart is not the pump that mobilizes the body through our veins, but the center of the man's every sensation. However, the cannot have the creator within just the heart be only with a small point and feel the points of the must develop himself with the one developed expands points of sensation creator his light can enter. One on our heart is some of the egotistic desires and small point within the part of the spiritual art, altruistic desire implanted above the creator himself, the task of the nurture the embryo with the spiritual desire as to such an extent that not to egotistic nature will determine all our aspirations. At the same time, the egotistic desire from the heart will surrender the contract whether it diminishes. After being born in the world was obliged to the chain from heart, egotistical, altruistic with the living of the world, the purpose of his life, with the reason, with the apprehension of the word, and the goal of the creation, complete replacement with the exotic, egotistic desires with the altruistic ones, the end of the correction of each of the individual, all humanity may attain his in this world together. Until one achieves this, we will continue to be born in the world. The Torah, although the prophets speak exclusively, the method of the correction is the Kabbalah. One can change his desire with one change with them. The man is created with an absolute with an absolute egotist. He neither adopts a different desire for the other people, the surrounding world he surrounds it just or like, nor does he have any like or some link to the spiritual world, such links as possible or any other than the mutual properties. Spiritual can be perceived in altruistic desire. Alright, the rose continued. Hence, an individual in our world has no chance of transcending the boundaries of this world of its own. on its own. This is why we're given the Torah, and this is most effective for the Kabbalists to help them acquire the desire of the spiritual world. In order to create the remoteness for themselves, some of the men would realize that insignificant will come the independent of the desire to ascend with the Creator, with the created all creation, with the degrees descended from Him, with the Creator light that descends all those degrees, and the lowest degree created with the world. The man, he having realized insignificant wishes, extend with the Creator of man, the extent of these wishes approach with the Creator, extend with among the same degree of the initial descent that took place in all the 10 degrees of the 10 Sephirot. Like 10 Sephirot, Keter, Hokum, Benah, Heshad, Guvar, Tuvera, Nivzat, Hudah, Yushad, and Maluk. 10 screens of the current of the 10 Shabbat create a conceal of the Creator's light, of the Creator or the Creator Himself, which is the same thing. Therefore, in order to draw the Creator by 1 degree, the lowest one above the own properties was acquire the property for the lowest degree of the means, but the property similar, but the property for the degree rather than remaining inferior. To acquire the similar property of mean with the same desire, assume that the desire coincide with the zero desire for over the degree of the concealment faith, as we see seemingly exists only with the 9 degrees separate from the Creator. However, the lowest and last of the lowest degree, the difference for all the others and students of the ascending with the one with the world on the first degree, also to begin with the sea of the ascents of the Creator, with the subsequent degree, but the degree then draw closer to the Creator, only the last first degree in which the presently exists with the concealed with the Creator, with the complete with whether the high degree and higher degrees are only to distance Him. Although we count 10 degrees, there are only in fact 5. This is because of the 6 degrees. Hesad, Javawar, Tiferet, Netzvah, Had, and Usado. Combined in one Sefrat, it's called the Zir Enpin. Sometimes referred to as a Tiferet, for the Sefer reflects on the common attributes for all 6 of the Sephirot. Some of the 5 degrees concealment of the Creator down to the world, down to our world, are Keterat, Hokim, Binya, Zephyr, Opinion, Malashe. Every degree is alternately called Olam, or world. The world of Halam is concealment. Every degree with a subdegree of the Parsium, every degree that has its subdegree is called a Parsum. Alright, your Parsum, and every subdegree has its own subdegree called Serveritz. This means the 5 times 5 times 5, 125 degrees of Sephirot. Below is a table of the degrees of the common to the world. The Creator's absolutely altruistic desire to create the soul of the man in order to fill it with delight. The world infinity of the existence is all ultimate perfect state. Your first world is known as Adam Kadam. Adam Kadam, first world. Alright, it goes with the separate Heketera, Hashmi, but not as much Zephyr and Ampin, Malshat. Your second world is Itzalut. Third world, Beria. Fourth world, Yet Zira. And fifth world, Asiya. Our world, the 5 egotistic desires felt in the heart that exists for the Sephirot, Keter, Hilma, Bizarre, and Malshut, which are all the Sephirots. These Sephirots for these 4 worlds are Keter, Hoshama, Binya, Zephyr, Anpin, and Malkut. Malkut means of Israel. Zephyr and him is the 6 degrees of Zafrats that weren't all into one. Alright, the goal creation. There is a notion of the time and spiritual world already exists in ultimately perfect state with the word of infinity, Ensof. Ensof is infinity, okay? It's the world of infinity, a world of infinity. Because of the desire of spiritual actions, both desires of spiritual designation of action, desires in itself the acts without the body. Therefore, we desire to create souls that will enjoy and appear with the Creator that we wish for to fill them with most direct delight, with the sense of Him, delight, His perfection. Make creatures just us. He and his He is and His desire immediately to realize the appear of the world Ensof that was already existing in the final state. Alright, however, we'll still need to attain the state of the sensation. This is reminiscence of the sleeping person, even though the sleeping somewhere does not understand that he is awake. Therefore, however, in order to achieve the perfect state, we must go gradually process the transformation of the inner property desires would correspond with the spiritual ascension from our world to the worlds of the Ensof. To leave with the final state of the Creator governs the us from above in the world. Therefore, there's nothing of the world that does not orientate with the world of the Ensof, where the final state every soul determines the path that is desired to travel in general, the change within how to go with the particular every moment or state. The spiritual advancement towards the world of infinity. There's no bag. Everything that happens indicate the necessity to bring every soul to the final state. Our goal determines the state of the world every second. At every second, what happens is general into each of us in particular. The creator, nothing in a different, rather than everything for service purpose. However, there stems above that does not include the one active, our active perception of the advancement. Instead of being slave to the move under the compulsion of beating stick with the suffering, we can turn to our path and suffering of the path of the Torah. To actively, quickly, and travelably, this path of the below upwards of the point, realizing the Creator's purpose is indeed the desirable, the possible to review the course of spiritual evaluation of man. Alright, man is equal to his prayer in the book. And the response to receive the spiritual strength of the above will help to improve the qualities to extend the entire Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and it should be Numbers, I believe. Numbers. Okay, their entire Torah speaks only of this Kabbalah goes through the provided with a detailed explanation path itself, as if one map depicts the go through and whether in the state with which degree we are now. Our Kabbalah study of the structure of the spiritual word. The purpose of these words weaken with the Creator signal, the signal of the desire that we would understand with the egoism, the realize that in our own mind. The Hebrews for the word with the line with the world with the Hameen means concealment. Halim means halalama means concealment. Alright. Depending on everyone's spiritual degrees, one of the tame the complete egoism over the world, partial altruism, spiritual words will perceive the Creator of his life differently, each with 125 degrees. These degrees among just 10 club with 10 Sephirot with the Creator of us, between the Creator and us. Alright, the Sephirot, 10 Sephirot, is the space between the Creator and us. Alright, and whenever the lower Sephiroth transmits the Creator's light, perceive with those degrees, the lower Sephiroth, less Creator, less than they throughout the low, throughout. Alright, your Sephiroth. The name of the Sephiroth for the Keter Hukamam Binia Estad Genevia Teferet Nesavad Ha Yisadmo Malkat. There are 6 combined into one Sephiroth called the Zero and the Zir Enpin. It is also there as the 5 Sephiroth, the Keter Hashemah, but the Bin Zir Enpin Malshat. The Zephyrin Enpin is usually considered a male Sephiroth. It is sometimes called the Tiferet, since Tiferet is main Sephiroth, and absorbing itself the property of the 6 Sephirot of the Zephyrah Amprine. The Creator is created only in 5 Sephirot. The Keter and the Keter, which is the desire to bestow light on Malushat, which is Israel. Hoshama, the pleasure itself, and Binia, pleasure, passes from Hoshima to Zephyr Anpin, and Zephyr Anpin is a pleasure pass from Binia to Malshala, and Malshala is the receives the pleasure. All right. Between Binia consists of two parts of the call with the G Garva Ava. It was willing to read the life of the Hoshima. However, this is a greater wish for the impart of the life of the lower ones, lower the Binia called the Vyava or Yushala. Receive the life of the Hokama, blah 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 blah. I'm not too interested with that. A lot of geo shit. The price of the male should extend with his desire corrected by the egoism, altruism, receive the life of the Creator's sake. To the extent of the Zia Amperin, the request for the life of the Binia subsequently Binia turns to receive the requested amount of life, and the Hoshima passes it from the Zelfia and Amperin to the extent of the corrected property of the mirror for the Zephyr Amperin, the equivalent form of the desirous light. Keter Hoshima Gar with the Binia do not want to receive the light, starting with the Yazoo, Benishah, the desire to receive the light, so the passes through the lower ones appear in Sephiroth. Malshala, here itself is the creature, the egoistic, to enjoy the Creator's life. The desire to enjoy the Creator's life with the Creator with the same thing with the existence of Malshala. We are the parts of Malshala, however, the only egoistic desire we feel for the Creator's life with the pressure in our world, the microdose for the love of light, correcting or desire and properties of the same, the spiritual degree for the upper world, and the experience for the Creator, true delight. According to the thought of the creation, Malshala must receive the light from the four previous Sephiroths and delight in it. So the last way I read it to you was the actual ladder. Hence, Malshala herself consists of 5 parts. It received the light of the preceding 5 Sephiroths in 4 parts, and is the 5th. All the Sephiroth perceive with the Malshala, with excluding Malshala, similar to our sensory organs. Malshala is like hearing, receiving all organs: brain, sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Heart of Malshala and the sensory organs are first 9 Sephiroths preceding Malshala. All those parts are Malshala and are egotistical with the receive the light and pressure to enjoy it with such a property. The Malshala cannot receive more than 1 microdose of the delight in or when the world sensing the Creator in a manner called this world. However, the Malshala is every one of us, and where with receive the desirous aspiration from above, the bestowed liver of the Creator, to the extent that we feel the Creator bestows upon us with the property desire. Man will ascend spiritually degree with above the world. How would he send the Creator's spiritual light, altruistic pleasure, great knowledge, and attain the supernatural thought and essence of existence? Alright, the screen. Malshala, the man, can receive light only in an anti-egotistic desire. The desire of the Malshala result of the realization of egoism is her enemy with the help of the Kabbalah. The extent of this to be hated, the extent of her hatred for the Malshala can repel the egotistic pleasure for the sake of the spiritual perfection, similarity with the Creator in her desire to please Him and act on His sake. The ability to repel self, the reception of the pleasure is called the screen. The repelled pleasure is called the return of light. Repelled pleasure is called the returning light, and the direct light is called Malshala. In the presence of repealed and pleasure, meaning the desire to bestow wholly-hearted and selflessly with the man consent to the Creator's light and supreme knowledge. Since the Malshala man of egoism has appeared repealed with the pleasure with the 5 parts, the egoism reflecting the second screen must also part with the 5 parts. However, hence the 5 parts with the returning light with the 5 parts of Malshala are created, are called by name of the Sephiroth with the receive of the 5 kinds of direct light are called the Nefresh, Rishat, Nisham, and alright, direct light is a Nishvash, Rushana, Nishaham, Haya, and Yekadiya. Light within emanate the Creator descendant of the following order, like I just read. The Partva. Your Partva is as the Malshala reflects light of pleasure, so she decided to proceed in order directly to delight the Creator. Because of the Malshala, to receive the pleasure from Him, feel Him, the reflection of all the incoming pressure for the Rosh, or the head, the partial reception of light, and stand with the ones of the anti-egotistic powers. The anti-egotistic powers are called Tok. The interior unfilled desires due to the absence of a screen of them are called Solf. Unfilled desires are Solf. The structure of Kli, the vessel, is the structure of the soul. Kli is refers to the soul. We call these part of the spiritual structure of the name of the physical body with the head and the body and limb. These 5 parts are Risham, and Rasha is the head, and the skull is the Galgota, which is also kind of like Galith, heads of Gothica, which is Hebrew for the two retarded people. Eyes of Enem, ears, Wazimim, blah blah blah. Alright, anyway, there's 5 parts of the body called the Gulf. 5 parts of the body. Guf, parts of the body. Alright, the pin and the tabor and the limbs of the 5 parts, blah blah blah. Alright. Alright, inverse portions between the vessel and the light. More strength of the mouth shot to open the egoism, greater for the light, the enter for the here. However, the one works with the one correction of vessel coarser because they receive the light with his effort and subtle desires. In other words, there's an inverse proportion between the vessel and the light. The coarser of the desire of the Kli and the corrector of the soul with greatly light and the shell of the vessel and the man. However, the upper Kli soul desires since the man all that exists for the creator is from the creator is absolutely egotistic, can only be created with imparting on himself and herself property of the being of the creator bestowed without reception of the property absolute. All truism selfless bestowal to receive such a property of the desire to tantamount to extending a level of the Mashat and the level of the Bina. Moshe herself is willing to receive the pleasure of the ban is imposed on reception of the pleasure is called first restriction. Or Tizatium LF. So you have your first restriction. Reception of pleasure for oneself. Restriction is a ban because a ban of pleasure inspired by the creator. Not himself. He is also to receive the pleasure, also to receive the pleasure. Whether the Moshe or the Israel man wants it or not, if she, the soul of man, egotistically desired light, will not enter, be felt with her, and hence are utterly unable to feel the spirit of the Creator. Alright, the state of catnut, or smallness. Yet Moshe is not only a separate light that cannot receive the light of the world, light cannot receive only a separate, is not the only separate that cannot receive light. From the world of El Tiza below the self, Bezan, Zephyr, and Anpin can receive the light either, cannot receive the other. Descending, the band is called the second restriction. It's a restriction that seems ascending necessary for the severe desire. The reception dominated in 3 sephirots has also fallen in the rule evaluated in most thought. In parts of no strength is opposed. In parts of no strength opposes the egotistic desire reception. Saffron bin Moshe is lower part of the not entitled to receive the Creator's life, to receive the selfishly, therefore by causing great harm to itself to avoid. Upper half of the Partsium, Sephirat, Keter, and Hoshama separates the lower part of the Parshan, through which light cannot pass downwards. Therefore, the result of the Moshe is sent to the Bina, and each of the degradable is in the 2 parts. Malshot restricted spreading of the light, and the parts about the 2 parts, the inside parts about the 2 parts formed with the guiding This GE receiveth the survive Keter and the Haushman receiveth the life of the Nesham Rosha, while other parts of Sephiroth, Binias, Zephron, Amplit, Malshalat below the Parsia. Therefore, it does not receive the light and corresponding light of the Nesham also remaining outside. If you could understand these words, you're a Jew. This degree of parts of is to provide with the light of Nusham, how you should lift up with the light of Nusham called the air. This is the entry of the letter of Yah of the light, world of light, or aura, Althea, Vesturishya. Light of the aura, light is aura, light, that's not too hard, aura, okay. Turns into air, Evir, and the state of the vessel is called the cat nut. Alright, thanks, Mom. Means the Malshot is sent with the mini with the light of what left in the air. In such state, the degree of the partial is called the cat, not smallness. Wherever the Sephiroth, Keter, and the Hoshima have only the light of the Nesva, Roshima, Sephiroth, and near Zufa, Meshat, known as the Persah, and Persah, not receive light. The Persah prevents the light from spreading when the Sephiroth, Shemoshia, and are designated the following letters. In reverse order of these letters of the creator named Elukium, creator's name, creator's name, Elukium, whether Mamiad produced the letters of the alpha and named since it maintains the creator with the below the upward, but the creator named Elukium is read with the below upwards. After the birth of all the world, the descent into the creation of our world, all the pervats of the world, and antivolts and words of the by BY area pass into the cat knot. This light is present with the GE, absent for the HP, and the upper degree with the fluid with the GE, lower degree forming the spiritual ladder between the creator and man in the order. World, the lowest part of the spiritual degree of the world, the seal felt to the point where the man's heart, consequently intermediate degrees not only now exists on inside the other, now exists one side, one inside the other, and an upper degree in the GE lower portion. The sum of the man's desire referred to as his heart, the spiritual of the nature which is born with the absolute egotism must not feel spiritual pouring of the heart. However, at some point with the Greek incarnation must become gradually strive towards the attainment of the cause of life and evaluation. He yearns to attain himself the source of justice due with right now. Man's aspiration for the create precisely with the aspiration to attain its origin. Man's discontent life often helps with the stature search where there's nothing to appeal with the surroundings. Such circumstances the same with above in order for the man to start feeling with the empty point in his heart with the stimulate with him the desire to fulfill with the creator. Magnifies the altruistic properties to bestow any behalf on himself in which the understanding of the property survive with the Keter Hoshima Binya. Therefore be created with the property bestowed, the only creation of the Malshot that will receive the light of the pressure, all use the entire word of the lowest part of the egotistic Malshot. Alright, the state of Godlut, or greatness in adulthood. However, the one Malshot of the man requested the spiritual ascent by the making efforts to free himself from the egoism by the prayer of the Creator to help him with the list life of the Absag. Over the Sephiroth, descends from above with him, comes from the Sephiroth, beginning the Malshot altruistic strength that enables him to return a Binia back to its place, and other Malshots, the ability to refrain the selfless reception, pleasure complemented with the strength of the receive the pleasure for the Creator, with the receive life of the Hokima within the HP, or for his sake. Subsequently, the Sephiroth Binia's Mashula begun reactivated with the power slot, beginning with the 5 Kelm parts, but later disappeared with the world of air in terms of the or light and state with the 5 lights and filled with the parts of Mil and joined later with Elijah from the creator's name Alkalim. This is started with the Galdal, or greatness and all adultness. The ascent of the lower one of the upper one. The result of the Malshots ascend with the upper half, established with the contact lower one. As a result of the lower Malshot extend with the lower upper one. The receives in the second restriction given to the man with the opportunity of the world infinity with the Creator himself. to a world of infinity or upon the Creator himself. In order to establish contact with the upper parts of Allah, the liberty, the diminution of the self, the expanding on the lower parts of Allah, becomes similar to the lower of the morning's property. HP, upper parts of Allah, willing, feeling, falls in the GE with the lower own one with those no strength with receive the light, but they become the single whole with a similar scenario with the strong individual joins in society and criminals in imitating behavior so that they after they've been admitted into the circle of establishing contact they correctly influence and correct them. However, the upper light with the gums are provided with the upper parts of Allah strong ascend the GE or of the lower parts of Allah extending with the become the single whole equivalent properly below the receive the strength ascend the upper receiving light with the proper seraphat and the lower of the part and seraphat with over the lower parts of Allah become the upper one. Therefore, it should not be regarded with the strong restriction and negative, but is helpful to the upper prasad descend the lower prasad of corrupting with its own properties in order to equalize itself with the lower one, so as subsequently ascending together with the previous level of this way, the lowest degree can ascend not only to the next higher one, but also to the highest degree in the spiritual ladder. Light of Zion and light of worlds Bia. Light Pertava Yeshua Aham Pertava Pinya and of the world Azultia, although the receive the Jewish in a small state of Catanut follows the zone. Fuck this one. I'm not reading the letters either. Like, fuck this shit. You're fucking nuts, Roy. I'm not really interested in this book at all, dude. Like, this sucks. Flower buds.